Welcome to Magic on Tap. I'm Jack.
And I'm Xavier.
And hey, the fucking, I forgot the name of it. The fucking Doctor Who decks came out. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the Lost Caverns of Ixalan.
Hell yeah, we are. Doctor, huh?
Doctor what?
Doctor, come again? But
Doctor,
before we
sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, he will. That's his whole thing. Before we get into it, though, we should probably do the barkeep upkeep. So,
Yes.
hey, Jack,
Yes.
what you drinking?
I'm starting out with the same thing that I think you started with this last time. It's Nosferatu. So this is the Imperial Red Ale from Great Lakes, and I've never had it before. So Xavier graciously gave me a can of it to try on the pod.
Yeah.
So,
and then he went and bought his own 4-pack.
And then I bought it, yeah.
I am drinking Fest beer. It is a Fest beer inspired open fermented lager from Newgrass Brewing. They're based out of Shelby, North Carolina. And I actually didn't have Nosferatu last time we recorded because it wasn't out yet.
Damn.
So spoiler alert, I'll be having it
It'll be later.
I would like to note that I'm pouring my beer into a fucking pewter cup I purchased at the Renaissance Fair.
Pooter.
This thing is sick because when you add cold things, it makes them cold, and it makes the whole fucking cup cold. And it cost me $60, and I could also kill someone with it because it's solid as fuck. There's the pros just go on and on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. What do you think of that bad boy?
I think that it is a lot hoppier than I expected. I really expected it to be like super malty, but it's a good balance. I think if it wasn't an imperial, it would probably be too hoppy for me. But
yeah,
it's kind of got that a little kind of iron taste. It was the only thing I could think of
blood
to explain it. Blood. Oh yeah, Nosferatu. Right. It tastes like blood, which is, I actually kind of like that. There's a beer called Bed of Nails from Highwire, and it's called Bed of Nails because it tastes like nails, and I actually really like that one. So yeah, it's a good balance.
I think something that people don't necessarily catch right away when they have Nosferatu is that it is on the can labeled as a red IPA and not a red ale, even though you pour it out and it's fucking crimson red. Like it is like blood red.
Yeah.
So that's like where a lot of that hoppiness is coming from. And I've had a couple people try that don't like IPAs, and they're like, you know what, this isn't too bad. And I think the maltiness of the beer kind of cuts down on the bitterness of the hops.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you think of your first sips?
Oh, yes. Hey, it's pretty good. This is really fun. I really enjoy this beer. I'm a sucker for just the, not gimmicky, but the tradition of open fermented beer. So if someone's like, hey, this is open fermented, I'll always give it a shot just because it's kind of weird. We talked about it before. I just like
I love
shit.
open fermented beers, and I think that they have a different flavor profile that's recognizable too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's almost got like a little funk to it. It's good. I mean, I just like it. It's definitely recognizable as a fest beer as well. Pretty much right off the top. And yeah, we'll talk about it more when we get to the Untapped reviews. So we should probably move into that.
Yes. Let's move into the Untapped step. Untapped is basically Yelp for beer. So I will start with Derek gave it 2.5 stars and said, little metallic. It's good, not great. Well, That's why it's called Nosferatu, as we just established. Wow, established.
Established.
That's all I have to say about that. Yes, it is metallic. It's supposed to be. Next one from Ethan L says, well, I always forget, 3.25 stars, and said, beer tasting with the Masons. I don't know if that's a last name or like the Masonic Lodge, but we'll see. No, we won't. Breaking Sober October, grimace emoji, but it's a tasting, so it's classy. So, it's, I don't know if that makes it classy or not, but I just liked that review.
I also had that one picked for one of mine. I had a backup because I saw it and I had a feeling you were going to pick it.
Yeah. The last one, which you may have also picked, is from Pedro M. Gave it 7 stars? It's hard to tell. And no description, but I picked this because the picture that he posted looks horrible. It's I think it was a taster. It's supposed to be a taster, but it's in like 2 plastic cups, and more than half of it is foam.
This is a big old cup of head.
It's just all head, and I'm like, I looked to see if the place that he checked it in from was a self-service place or something. Yeah. I don't think it is. So, wow, not looking good for the standard. I'm calling you out.
Maybe
Penn
that's
Avenue,
why
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Maybe that's why he didn't give it like a description or a numerical rating and just posted a picture because he was just like annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. And that's probably why he didn't like it either, because he was just sipping on head the whole time. Oh, the other thing about this, I was looking through this page, and all of the recent reviews are from this guy, and there are 15 of them. This dude went through, and I think they might have been all tasters, but he went through 15 beers, rating them all lowly. And they all have these terrible pictures.
He probably got 3 flights.
Yeah, probably
3 flights of 5.
It's just like there's just a lot going on there.
Yeah, I hope that's what happened, and I hope that's why his pour's so shitty. I hope it was like his last flight, and they were just like, "Fuck you, dude."
Yeah. Or yeah, maybe he just kept ordering flights and they were just like, this fucking guy.
Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Most of his reviews also are the pictures are empty cups or like very nearly empty. So, oh wait, hold on, sorry. New development. I'm looking at one of these pictures, and it has the taps in the background. They're like very close to him, so it might be self-service.
Might just be his house.
It's not his house. I know that because I actually looked at the address of this place.
All right.
I was very invested in this. Yeah,
so
go
he
ahead.
just fucking played himself.
Yeah.
Cool. Was that all you got?
Oh yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, I will go ahead and go to my Untapped step. So what am I'm looking at reviews for Fest beer. Let's see. Oh my god, what the fuck is that word? Sorry, I already picked this and it's crazy. So the first one is William B. He checked it in at Newgrass Brewing Company. He gave it 2.75 stars. And he said, "Too much pine sol for my taste. Not what I'm looking for in a Fest beer." And that's why I had to double check. I'm like, no, it's correct. Pine sol. I'm not going to lie to you. Any amount of pine sol is too much pine sol for me.
Yeah.
I don't really have a high pine sol tolerance, so I don't know what homeboy's drinking. It's bad. What else do we got? We got Bill P. There's a joke somewhere. I don't know where it is. Willie P. That is it.
There it is. You found it.
He checked out a Newgrass Brewing Company as well. He gave it 3.5 stars. He said, pretty solid. However, I much prefer the recent release from Brewtopia, which is just, I don't know, weirdly rude.
It's kind of shitty.
It'd be like, God damn, your guys' shit kind of sucks. Maybe you should try this person's beer so you know what it should taste like. That's what it feels like. So just a little passive-aggressive from him. And then the last one is Jake B. checking in from Untapped at Home. He gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and he says, very solid Meritzen, whatever you say. This is only brought up because I learned recently, because I'm kind of a dummy, that Martzens and fest beers are not the same thing. A Marzen style is more like an Oktoberfest, so it's got like a bolder, maltier, kind of heavier thing going on. And a fest beer is typically lighter and more of like a traditional style, I think. So it's not a Marzen, so get fucked, Jake B. God damn, just getting shredded on some podcast that you're never going to know about. I think about that all the time.
You're never going to hear about it.
Yeah. By the way, this is a Magic and Beer Review podcast. I don't know if we said that.
We did, but it's not obvious.
I don't know. Jack, in the future, go to the instant replay.
I will, yeah.
I was pausing for you to do it.
Yeah,
in the future.
Like you have to give me time to do it.
Yeah, right? Like you're only going to do it when I say when the recording. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. So what the fuck? What are we doing?
You know what? Actually, just so that no one really knows what's going on or what this is about, I'm gonna like make a super clickbait thumbnail. I'm gonna put like some. Can I find art of beer titties like
yes,
foam titties in the beer or something, and put that in the thumbnail?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Speaking of that, I was going to say, if you've never been to the Ren Fair before, this is the first time my wife went. She had a blast. She had so much fun that she got, like, dummy drunk. You've never been to the Ren Fair before? It's awesome. It's cool. There's a bunch of people that clearly, like, wait all year to go and do their thing there. There's so many cool outfits. Yeah. There's dudes with their balls out. There's girls with their knockers out. It's great.
It's pretty awesome. I remember going one year, and this was before I could drive. I did not see any balls or titties, but I begged my parents to go back like every year, and they never wanted to go. So, and now that I have income and a car, I still have not been.
And you can drink.
But I'd love to go back. And I can drink, through the best part.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Most people go, like, in school and shit. They bring you there at some point, but you can't drink when you're that age. When you go back as an adult, they just, like, let you fucking walk
way
around.
Better.
Yeah. You just get to yell at dudes that are jousting. Like, what?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the jousting is great.
I can drink and boo a man on a horse? That's fucking crazy, dude. All right. On to the main phase or whatever. First main.
Yeah, the first main.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're talking about Lost Caverns of Ixalan. We got some spoiler cards, some of the secret guest cards, and some of the Jurassic Park cards. There's a lot going on there. So we're just going to go through those. What do you say? You just want to start at the top?
Yep.
So, Kellen is back.
Again?
He is back again. Kellen's back. He was in Wilds of Eldraine. I don't know. So he's not a planeswalker. He's a creature. I don't know if I haven't read the lore for this because I wasn't really that interested in the lore for Eldraine. I need to go back and read it at some point. But I think they left omen paths between planes when Realmbreaker fucking broke through the blind eternities or whatever. So Kellen is now on Ixalan. Kellen, daring traveler. Wow, that took a long time for me to get to that. 1 white and 1. He has an adventure. 1 green to... It's a sorcery. Create X map tokens, where X is 1 plus the number of opponents who control an artifact. And a map token is... I don't know.
We don't know. We have no idea.
Yeah.
It's not anywhere.
They have not told us what a map token is, so I don't think they've even updated the comprehensive rules to say like map is a token type or anything. But
yeah, I would wager it'll be something to do with exploring. I would think. I hope it's not like another weird form of dungeons.
Dungeons, God, please no.
I bet I could easily see that, but if you're making more than 1, right, it doesn't say like follow the map. It would say like follow the map instead of like be like venture into the dungeon. Follow the map.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no benefit
like,
to
take
stacking
X paces.
Right. Oh no, that don't say it too loud. That's when Indiana Jones comes out with a set, and then they'll be saying stupid shit like that.
Yeah. So, Kellen himself is a 2/3, and whenever he attacks, you reveal the top card of your library. Pretty good. If it's a creature card with mana value 3 or less, put it in your hand. Otherwise, you may put it in your graveyard. And that's on attack, not on damage. So, I see that having a lot of utility, actually.
Yeah, and I imagine the map tokens has to probably tie into whatever ability to that ability. Like, there's probably some synergy there.
Yeah, maybe it's like sack it and scry or something. I don't know. We already have like clue tokens, so
yeah.
But clues just draw you cards?
Yeah, clues just draw you cards. I think I could see it doing the explore thing, so you get to filter cards off the top of your library.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It's another token generation thing, which is cool. That'll be good in all sorts of fucking stuff.
All
I know Explorer's
sorts of things that have green and white in the color identity.
Oh yeah,
we'll get to that.
Oh, we definitely will. And Explorer's a big mechanic in the last Dino set or whatever. So.
Yeah. I forgot about Explorer. I wasn't playing during Ixalan, so I don't really. It's not in my lexicon.
Yeah, and we never just run into it. It just doesn't really happen. And it's not a bad mechanic. I believe it's you reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you can draw it. Otherwise, you can put a 1/1 counter on a creature. I think that's how Explorer works.
If it's a land, you can put it in your hand. Otherwise, you put a +1/+1 counter on the creature that explored, and then you can choose to put it back into your on top or into the graveyard.
Yeah, I mean that's really not bad at all.
But, yeah. I mean anytime you can essentially scry and then also, or it's not scry, but the one where you choose to put it in your graveyard.
It's like filtering.
Yeah, there's a keyword for it, but I can't think of it right now. But
Surveil.
It's pretty good. Surveil, that one.
Yep. Which I also think was a mechanic from Ixalan, however you say it.
Surveil is from Ravnica.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we have a Magic podcast.
Originally,
we know things.
I think. Yeah.
Cool, so that's Kellen. I guess I'll leap into Lord of Atlantis. Lord of Atlantis is 2 blue pips for a 2/2. Other merfolk get +1/+1 and have Island Walk. Hey, I'm guessing merfolk are gonna be important later.
I hope
Um,
so. I would love to see better Merfolk printed in. Actually, no, it would be hilarious if they printed a ton of Merfolk in the new Ixalan set, and they just all suck.
yeah, well, it's so weird because Merfolk decks seem like they should be really good, and they're like okay.
Yeah, pretty
They're
much.
just okay. Whatever.
Yeah,
Prof, our good friend Brian should be very happy
yeah.
to see that
Friend of the
they're
show.
making a Merfolk tribal card. So that has to be important later. There's no way it's not coming up later.
I
There's
hope
gonna be
so.
more.
And worth pointing out, that's a special guest card, so I don't know if that will tie into Rivals. No, not Rivals. What's it called? Lost Caverns of Ixalan, or not?
Oh yeah. Then never mind.
But yeah, but I hope so. It would be cool to get more Merfolk.
Yeah, why not?
Oh God.
Moving on to breaches.
All right, moving on to breaches. I can read this one out. He is 1 red and 2 for a 3/3 Goblin Pirate, but I mean, come on, he's a Goblin Monkey. Um, First strike, 3/3 first strike for 3 is pretty fucking good already. Whenever a pirate you control attacks, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Create a treasure, or oh no, there are 2 more. Create a treasure. Target creature can't block this turn, or exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. So, pretty good. You got some rummage in there. Oh, yes, rummage. Is that the one that exiles? I'm really bad
No.
with this right now.
That's impulse.
Impulse. One of those, probably.
Rummaging is discarding and drawing.
Seems pretty good. I kind of want to make a. I've actually been wanting to make a pirate deck. I probably wouldn't use him as the commander because I want to have multiple colors.
Yeah.
But he seems pretty good. I think he would be great in the 99.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that he's pretty good. You swing with him and 2 other pirates, and you get to do all 3, I believe. So,
Yep.
Seems pretty good. What the fuck? You could probably do mono red pirates, but it's never gonna be better than doing any 2-color pirate combination. So
Yeah.
he's definitely intended to be more in the 99. But I don't know. His fucking showcase art is dope.
Yeah. I really like the showcases in this.
Yeah, I do for most of them. There's one card that just looking at what they have shown so far, there's one card that I prefer the original art, actually, and it's actually the next one that we're getting to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I agree. This art is fucking... It goes hard.
Yeah. So we'll just leap into that. It's, oh boy.
Oger Oxonal? I don't know.
Oger Exonal. Probably, I don't know. Maybe it's a
Ashanal?
Yeah, Ashanal, or it could be O'Hare Ashanal, because it's a J.
O'Hara Ashanal, yeah.
Yeah, O'Hare Ashanal. O'Connell! It just sounds like we're saying them like mummy things. Oger Exonal, Deepest Might. Oh. 2 colorless and 2 red pips for a 4/4 trample. If a red source you control would deal an amount of non-combat damage less than Oger Exonal's power to an opponent, that source deals damage equal to Oger Exonal's power instead. When Oger Exonal dies, return it to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. It flips into Temple of Power, which is a land. It taps for red mana. You can pay 2 colorless and a red to tap and transform Temple of Power. Activate only if red sources you controlled dealt 4 or more non-combat damage this turn, and only as a sorcery. Oh, weird. It's just like it's somebody on the dev team was just tired of not seeing enough like mono red burn decks, and they're like, can we just go back to the old days when we could just fucking
Yeah, because there's more than one, I think. effect like doubling effect on non-combat damage in Wilds of Eldraine too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And it's just yeah, non-combat damage is interesting. You have a fucking commander that just never dies. He just like goes and comes back all the time.
Yeah.
His original art is he's got a flaming sword. It looks like he has like fucking lion legs and one dinosaur arm and a skull for a head. It's insanity.
I love it. It's so good.
And it's interesting because you have this, non-combat damage thing, or this combat damage thing, and then it pumps up to whatever his power is, and he's only a 4. He is a 4/4 for 4 with trample, which is pretty good, but I mean, do you want to pump him? Or I think the better move is you find a bunch of cheap shit that just pings everything for 1, and then you just fucking jack it up to 4 instead.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, like, there are fucking 1 mana cards that will just ping for 1, or like there are some that are, I don't know, 3 or 4 mana that will hit everything for 1. It's just like, that could be insane.
What's his nuts fucking thermo alchemist that
Oh my
taps
god.
and deals 1 to each opponent, and he untaps whenever you cast an instant or sorcery. So you just tap and do 4 to everyone, and then you just have to cast 1 instant. So let's say you cast a pump spell on Ixalan, pump him up to like, you give him +3/+0, so he's a 7/4, and then you untap Numbnuts, and then you tap him again for 7 now. Stupid.
Yeah, that's dumb. Oh
Yeah.
god.
And then he's got trample.
Really mean deck.
So you're just swinging him, because fuck it, because he
'Cause
dies and then he turns into a land.
Just bring him back. Oh no, how am I gonna deal 4 damage?
Oh no, in my
God.
red burn deck.
Like, and it's for 3 mana, and it's a land, so it doesn't even have summoning sickness. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
That's gonna be horrible.
Yep. It's kind of cool though.
It is kind of, I kind of love it. I think that probably you, me, and 2 other people in our play group are gonna build that deck.
Yeah. It'll be fun. But yeah, the showcase art looks super dope. But I don't know, man. It's the original art's
cool
just
as the full body with the dinosaur arm and the flaming sword.
Yeah, no. The showcase looks cool, but the picture for Ixalan and not Temple of Power, it looks like if this is a really weird take, but it looks like if Shadow the Hedgehog was a Power Ranger, that would be on his little Power Ranger belt thing.
Oh my god. That is a very good description. Holy shit. Ooh.
And that's all. Oh my god, and he morphs. He like changes. He's kind of like a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger.
He's a Mighty Morphin fucking Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, now I just like created a whole story in my head where he is like the new villain in a fucking Power Rangers reboot, and he has like some weird dark version of Power Ranger powers where he can like fucking call a Megazord or whatever. Anyway.
Oh my god. Or he used to be a Power Ranger?
Yes!
Oh,
Whoa! Cut this out immediately!
Alright, moving on to Huatli, Poet of Unity, who also won, and also because Breaches is 1 color mana and 2, Huatli is 1 green and 2. For a 2/3 human warrior bard, when Huatli enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Sure. But you can pay 3 and Boros, so like the split mana, red or white, to exile Huatli, then return to the battlefield transformed under her owner's control, activate only as a sorcery. She enters as a saga, Roar of the Fifth People. Chapter 1, create 2/3/3 green dinosaur creature tokens. Chapter 2, Roar of the Fifth People gains creatures you control have tap to add red, green, or white. Chapter 3, search your library for a dinosaur card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. And then chapter 4 is dinosaurs you control gain double strike and trample until end of turn. So, of course, Swatley is going to have dinosaur synergy, and I think it's pretty cool. I don't know if it's as good as old Swatley, but it's still pretty neat.
It is neat. The way the saga works, though, it feels kind of one track where it really just, it's like, okay, we made it so all your creatures tap for whatever you need, so you go get the one big dinosaur in your deck, and then you play it, and then next turn it's going to gain double strike and trample.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, whatever. It's fucking good. It comes in, and it's a 3 for a 2/3 that also kind of ramps. So.
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, it does, well, it goes in your hand. The basic land goes in your hand, so if you play her that turn, but, like, it guarantees that you don't miss a land drop on the next turn, which is always good. But yeah, right. I don't know. I mean, I think you're right. It seems kind of boring.
Yeah. It's an auto include in any dinosaur deck for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you wanted to be really boring, you would make it your commander, I think, because if you hit her turn 2, then she ramps and gets you land in your hand, and then whatever. I don't know. It's just like you can have an enchantment deck and make Sithis your commander and be boring as fuck, or you can put her in the 99 and try and do something more interesting. And I think this is one of those things. So,
yeah.
At least from a commander mindset, it seems pretty solid and standard for just dinosaurs in general.
Yeah, standard I think has been just getting faster and faster. So I think it might actually be too slow for standard. But
yeah, who's not too
so
slow
I'm not
for
really
standard?
sure where this fits in. Oh, sorry.
His fucking Oger accent Exonal doesn't seem too slow for standard.
Dude, Axl Rose.
Oh, that is what it is.
Yeah, he's got a compass rose on his face.
He does. Oh, sure, Axl Rose, deepest might. I bet.
Oh no! All right, roll that back. I take it back. I'll let you introduce the next card.
Oh shit! So, in this set, in standard and collector's boosters, instead of a list card,
so set boosters and collector boosters.
Set boosters and collector boosters. Instead of a list card, you will be getting a fucking Jurassic Park card, dude. That's pretty good. Okay, I will say, just to be fair, because we talked so much shit about Transformers, it is annoying that it is replacing a set pull.
Yes.
Or whatever, the list pull. It's annoying that it's replacing a list pull. But it's fucking Jurassic Park. Who doesn't like Jurassic Park? Come on, dude.
Jurassic Park is way better than the fucking whatever shitty robots they had before. And
yeah.
I mean, so yeah, I think it would be better if it was like, okay, yeah, the set pull can sometimes replace, I think it replaces a basic land. Like, also sometimes this will replace the token or like be an additional card or something.
Yeah.
So it'd be better if it was in addition, but I get it. They have to make their fucking money, their dirty, disgusting money.
Yeah, but not to make a pun out of this, I think Jurassic Park is pretty universal in the sense that
I wouldn't have even thought about that if you didn't say not to make a pun, but
that's one of my favorite things. You open, like, when you watch Jurassic Park, it's like the old Universal open where it looks so shitty. Oh god. Love it so much. Anyway, so the first Jurassic Park card we're talking about is Welcome to Ellipses. It's an enchantment saga. It's 1 colorless and 2 green pips. First thing is for each opponent up to 1 target non-artifact. What the fuck? For each opponent up to 1 target non-creature artifact they control becomes a 0/4 wall artifact creature with Defender for as long as you control this saga. So it's a 3-drop. You go last in your turn thing, and you just turn everyone's fucking commander spheres or soul rings into walls instead.
I love that.
Second, what the fuck is this called? What is it? Chapter. Second chapter is you create a 3/3 green dinosaur creature token with trample. It gains haste until end of turn, which is pretty good. And then its third chapter, destroy all walls, exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. So you turn everyone's ramp artifacts, their mana rocks, into walls, and then you just bloom the fuck up, which is like the flavor on that is so good. It's so good.
It's fantastic. Oh yeah, this is a transform card.
Yes. So it flips into Jurassic Park. It's because the first thing is Welcome to, and then it flips to Jurassic Park, motherfucker. Yeah. It's a legendary land. Each dinosaur card in your graveyard has escape. The escape cost is equal to the card's mana cost, plus exile 3 other cards from your graveyard. You can tap and add a green mana for each dinosaur you control. Whew.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Hey, yeah, the only thing that would have been better is if this was like a legendary gate instead of a land, I think.
Oh my god.
Because there's gate synergy already that exists, and it's a fucking gate! So,
yeah, it should be a gate.
I get it because, whatever. That's like my one little gripe about it. Otherwise, I'm in love with it. I think I've talked about this before, maybe not, but my wife literally walked down the aisle to the Jurassic Park theme song, like an orchestral version of the Jurassic Park theme song, like a string version. Fantastic.
Did it have the dinosaur roaring sounds in the background? Because I really want it to.
No, we should just get remarried.
Well, you've already done it twice.
I know, we have been married twice. Not because we had difficulties. We just fucking did it. I've talked about it before.
they decided to do it twice. Yeah, the more I hear about your wedding, the more sad I am that I missed it.
Yeah. Well, on to the next card.
Anyway, shut up. Read the next card.
Wait, before you read that next card, are you done drinking?
Pretty close. Hold on. Yes.
Okay, we should sneak in a little Untapped step.
A little Untapped.
Okay. Oh, God. I think everyone knows what I'm drinking already. I'm going to be having a Nosferatu, so what are you drinking, buddy?
Nosferatu. I'm drinking Pumpkin by Southern Tier.
Oh.
It's a pumpkin beer. We're getting into spooky season. So that's why I have Nosferatu and the pumpkin. And so this one is 8.6, so it's actually a little bit higher ABV than Nosferatu. So she's hefty.
I'm not a big pumpkin beer guy, but that pumpkin is like the one pumpkin beer that I will drink. I think last year when we were recording, I was going out to get a pumpkin, and I ended up at a random bottle shop instead, and that's when I bought that triple IPA that I dropped and had to shotgun in the street.
Yeah, because I remember that. You told me that's what you were going out to get, was the pumpkin.
Yep. So,
yeah.
A little throwback. Yeah, I'm having a Nosferatu. I've talked enough on Jack's talking about how he thought Nosferatu tastes already, so you know my feelings on this. For our one listener, God damn it, I think I always say Tony. Anya. Oh, yeah. Falconwrath. Anya Falconwrath.
Anya Falconwrath.
Our one listener. This is like one of my all-time favorite beers, so it's like one of my favorite beer styles. Red ales are like one of my favorite beer styles. I love that it's a red IPA. I'm sure it pisses a lot of people off because they're like, that's not a real thing, man. And it's like, well, tell Great Lakes that because this has like a fucking crazy cult following.
Well, and fucking Italian Pilsner isn't a real thing, so fuck off.
So just eat my ass about it. I don't know. I am like a weird familiar for this beer. I pushed a local bottle shop to get this for 2 years, and they brought it in, and then I fucking went and took a picture of myself giving the okay sign, and I wrote a little like fucking customer voucher, and I laminated myself, and I cut it off, and I just taped it to the shelf in that bottle shop without like telling anyone that I did it. I just fucking came in and did it. So I am like the Renfield of Nosferatu. I love this beer.
And then today you were like, hey, you should go look at Nosferatu in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. I send people for Nosferatu to feed on. I am a beer familiar.
Yeah. I could be considered a beer familiar for lots of things in that case. But anyway.
I want a shirt for that. So what do you think of pumpkin?
I like pumpkin. So yeah, like you said, I don't like a lot of pumpkin beers, and I think that the reason is they try too hard. So there's tangent. We're going way off. There's a brewery in Charlotte called Pilot, and they do a lot of traditional styles, but they also do a lot of like flavored stuff. And so one of the first beers that I had from them the year that they opened was a s'mores beer, which I've had a lot of beers claiming to be s'mores flavored, and they're just way too sweet, and they're just like gross. I can't drink more than a couple sips of it. But theirs was like very well balanced. It wasn't overly sweet. You get all the flavor without like it being cloying and like making you want to throw up. So, all that to say, pumpkin, I feel the same way about. I've had a lot of pumpkin beers where it's just kind of gross, or like there's too much pumpkin and not enough of the spices, or whatever. It's just perfectly balanced. I think it's good.
If you go to their tap room, they have pumpkin on nitro usually during this time of year as well, and it's dope. It's very good. So
that sounds awesome.
Yeesh. Pretty neat.
Yeah, and it's also like, oh boy, she heavy, 8.6%. I think I mentioned before. So like, if you're not careful, it'll knock you out.
Yeah, that beer fucks people up.
Yeah.
Certifiable. Dope.
Yeah, you want to go into your Untapped reviews?
Oh, yes, I do. So, I'm only going to do two. The first one, it is from somebody whose name I can't see because I cut it off because I'm a degenerate, and I always do this now. This is who I am now. It's Untapped at Home. I can see that. It's 4 out of 5 stars. And they say, in quotes, "But every time they invade his castle, Nosferatu was never there. Those foolish victims are his next meal. Death is in his stare. Multi-red color, slightly boozy, offset by a pleasant hop finish." And that's the kind of beer nerd I like. It's because I usually don't really enjoy that, but it's such a fucking cool can. If you've never seen what this beer looks like, go look at the can. It's dope. It deserves to be dramatic. It's a dramatic time of year. It's Halloween. And then the next one I have is a guy. His Untapped is JJP at Untapped at Home. It's a picture of a little doggy. His profile picture. And then he gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and then he just said Kennedy #rescue, and his picture is of him holding a can, and then this dog that looks like it has seen some shit. It can't see anything really that well now, but it used to see some shit. But he's living his best life, and he's just like, he's kind of not. The dog isn't really smiling. He's like half smiling. He's like, like it's better than what it was before.
Like one little fang twofer.
He does, and he's got a milky eye, and he's just like,
Yeah.
meh, I've been rescued. It's all right. Like he's like, Psh, I've been better places. My dad works for Nintendo.
Yeah, it's pretty
yeah.
good.
He's just a little guy, you know. So what do you got for Untapped?
What have I got? Well, let me tell you what I got. First one from Riley M. Gave it 5 stars. Said, so good, it is like a pumpkin pie in a glass, so good. And I agree. It's very good. I just like that they said so good twice.
I do too.
Next one, John M. Gave it 3.8. I hate this rating system. And said, a gift from Anthony. And I just want to say that, like, I can't believe this guy knows Anthony. Like,
yeah. And it was a gift from Anthony, and, like, somebody went out of their way to give you something to try, and you gave it 3.8 out of 5 stars.
yeah,
that's
fuck
insulting.
You, actually.
Yeah, that's insulting. Like, just like that beer was given to you because they thought of you. They saw it and thought of you, and they gave it to you, and you gave it 3.8 out of 5 stars. And be like, "Fuck you, dude! Give it back." I make you puke. I make you throw it up.
Back, bitch. Yeah. Oh well. That is a good segue into the next one because Matt B gave it 0.25 stars and said, this tasted like they scraped everything around the pumpkin off the ground and put it into a keg. I think he's had a few by now. By far the worst thing to touch my lips. As you can see from the picture, my body rejected this vile flavor. And he posted a picture of his fucking vomit on the sidewalk. What the fuck? This dude... Okay, so first of all, clearly he has already been at it for a while. And number B... He downed this whole beer, said, this sucks, went outside and threw it up, and the picture, by the way, is in clear daylight. Like, it is 10 a.m., and this guy is throwing up outside the fucking bar.
Fantastic. You know, that says so much about our generation that you fucking throw up outside and your first inclination is to take a picture of that shit and leave a review.
Oh my god.
He wins. He wins on tap, man. That's why we do these. That man is the reason why we fucking do this Untapped step. Because it's like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Like, dude, seriously?
Most of the time, people are checking in these beers as they're drinking. Or when they're looking for a beer. Do you think I want to see a picture of your fucking puke when something's about to go in my mouth or when something's already there, dude? There's no way.
Oh, my God.
Also, it's just further proof that Untapped is like the wild fucking west. Nobody regulates it. Nobody regulates it.
Yeah.
I could just keep posting pictures of my asshole and it would be like it'd be fine.
No one would know.
No.
Oh my god. Well, they would stay up anyway. I think lots of people would see them probably.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "Oh, there's no reporting system." There has to be. Anyway.
There is. Anyway, yes. Let's move on to continue our first main. Don't worry about it. And we played, what's that card that gives you multiple, Sphinx of the Second Sun.
There you go. You got this one.
Galta, Stampede Tyrant. Everybody loves a Galta. 3 green and 5 for 12/12 Elder Dinosaur. Which means it can be your commander, an Elder Dinosaur Highlander.
It's technically EDH.
It is. Trample. When Galta enters the battlefield, put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
That is one that I talked about my Ruka Rumel deck, or now it's a Ruka Rumel deck, last week. And this card got announced after that, I'm pretty sure. Which is disappointing because I ordered professionally printed proxies, and I would have loved to get this for my Ruka Mel deck as a proxy because this set's not going to come out for a while. Because like then I can put this onto the battlefield, and anything else that I have left over in my hand from the World Tree or whatever, I can just put it on the battlefield too. It'd be great.
Yeah, I love Galta. She's just like super cool. It's big dinosaur.
Big dinosaur. Yeah,
8 for a 12 with trample that just dumps shit out in the field seems pretty fun.
It's great. And green has everything, so you could just put a bunch of card draw and
right. Galt is the definition of big stompy creatures.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Talking about Elder Dinosaurs versus Elder Dragons, I want the next joke set to have Galta in it, but she has like taped on cardboard wings, and she's like an Elder Dinosaur Dragon.
Oh my god, that would be great.
Anyway, moving on to the next one. It is the Skull Spore Nexus, which seems super cool.
Yeah, badass.
6 colorless, 2 green pips, legendary artifact. It is a mythic. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Whenever one or more non-token creatures you control die, create a green fungus dinosaur creature token with base power and toughness equal to the total power of those creatures. Pay 2 colorless, tap, double target creature's power until end of turn. What? So, you know what card this should go in is your fungus deck, which you haven't played with in forever.
I have not. But yes.
You make pretty big creatures with the spore counters and stuff, so, I mean, I don't know. It's fun, man. It seems cool as fuck.
Yeah, I definitely will put that in there if I pull one, probably. I think that this card will probably be pretty expensive. It'll probably be part of a lot of combos and shit. But if I manage to get one, then I'll put it in there. I'm not going to buy one specifically for the fungus deck.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I do like it. Oh, God.
Yeah, pretty much anything where it costs X less to cast based on something, and it does a bunch of really dope shit, it seems to get expensive pretty quickly.
Did we not learn anything from the Great Hinge?
No, they haven't. They learned that they could reprint that and it would still cost us money, so...
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
They might as well reprint it because we're going to hope we pull it and then we'll end up spending like $30 on it anyway or whatever. So
yeah, they did that with the party tree.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I did that one, so you get to go into fucking boy, which I definitely want to make this deck, but go for it.
Oh my god, dude. Ian Malcolm, Chaotician. 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 generic for a 2/2 human scientist. That doesn't matter. Whenever a player draws their second card each turn, that player exiles the top card of their library. So that means they do both, which is neat. During each player's turn, that player may cast a spell from among the cards they don't own, exiled with Ian Malcolm, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it. So... And the flavor text also is you've heard of chaos theory? Because that is going to be a chaos deck for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. That seems really fun.
Yeah, and it's not a May ability. You just exile the top card of your library. So, the May part is you cast a spell from it that they don't own. You're definitely just going to want to do it because you're exiling cards anyway when you fucking do it. So, yeah, that immediately pairs with What's His Nuts, Ludovic, where people can draw a second card anyway and then they exile. Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of things that make people draw an extra card, like the Kami something.
Yeah, Kami the Crescent Moon.
Oh, the Crescent Moon, yeah.
Yeah, he's if you want to fucking add a little spiciness to your Nekuzar deck, which you probably don't if you're running that, or maybe you do, you'd fucking dump him in there because you're probably making people draw cards anyway. And then if you're playing a Nekuzar, you can have your Prosper in there, so you're casting cards from exile and you're getting treasures and doing fucking Prosper stuff and whatever. He's fun. It's great.
Yeah,
Can't think of a better way for him to exist.
Yeah, it's very good.
All right, I got the next one, and I'm not happy about this, but I probably will make this deck. Indominus Rex Alpha. It is a legendary creature, dinosaur mutant, which is cool. 6 for fucking 5, but its mana cost is weird as shit. It is 1 colorless. Dimir and Dimir, so you can pay a blue or a black, or a blue or a black, and then 2 green pips. So it is tricolor. As Indominus Rex Alpha enters the battlefield, discard any number of creature cards. It enters with a flying counter on it. If a card discarded this way has flying, the same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Hexproof, Haste, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. When Indominus Rex enters the battlefield, draw a card for each counter on it. So if you're fucking playing Mutate and stupid shit like that, where all your shit has a bunch of weird abilities, Indominus Rex is like what you want to fucking mutate on. You play it with the Mimeoplasm, where Mimeoplasm cares about shit in your graveyard anyway, so you're discarding, and then you can just make copies of it with the Mimeoplasm, and that's got a dinosaur in the art, so it's kind of on theme. I don't know. It's fun. It's just like, big, stompy, fucking, what is that thing that everyone, Voltron. You just Voltron it.
Oh, yeah.
Swing hard.
Yeah.
It does have haste listed, so if you happen to have a green or black or blue card that has haste, they do exist. But
they do. Mostly on green.
I mean, flying dinosaur that hit hard seemed pretty good.
Oh, yeah, seemed good.
Seems pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, good stuff. You just load it up with a bunch of shit that's got keywords that's cheap to play, and you're good to go.
You know what I just realized is that there will probably be a Chris Pratt card in this.
Oh, no. Oh. Well, if there's... Okay. I mean... Oh, fuck. So... God damn, that's so annoying. That's so... If there is... Okay. If there's a Chris Pratt card and there's not a fucking... Like, the other 2 leads from the first series, I'm gonna be pissed off.
That would be shitty. I
that
bet
would be
they
bullshit.
will. Like, yeah, I'm sure they will.
Well, they're going to do blue. They'll probably have blue, which is the raptor. They'll probably do a legendary blue thing. I don't know, man. I really just hope they focus more on dinosaurs. Wait, would they make blue not blue because it's a dinosaur? That'd be weird.
What?
Anyway.
Oh, well,
There's not too many dinosaurs with blue in it. So Indominus is kind of interesting in the sense that it does have blue in the mana cost, because there's really not too many. I can only think of one dinosaur that has blue in its mana cost off the top of my head, because it's fucking Phantasmal Dreadmaw, which is an illusion dinosaur.
Yeah, that's an illusion, so. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Here's a fun thing. We are getting, what is that? 7 reprints of Mana Crypt in
8.
the 8? Wait.
Yeah, there's a green one too.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh no, 7. I can't do math. You're right.
5. So 1 for each color, plus the neon one, plus the rainbow one.
Yep.
So these are part of the special guest things, and the art's pretty cool. It's like this kind of Aztec mask thing. It's got a glow behind it. I like the art a lot, and I think that it'll look really cool in the rainbow version. I think it's cool that there is a version for each color, but it being Mana Crypt, I think that it's going to be intentionally difficult to obtain. And it sucks because, maybe you have a Mana Crypt already that you might want to trade in for one of these or something, but if you don't already have a Mana Crypt, it's going to be pretty hard to get one, and let alone the one that you might want. Like, some of these are going to be less desirable than others, and so, like, you pull the white one, and it's like, oh man, that one's worth $20, and the black one is worth $200 or something, Like, I think that it is overall actually a good thing. I know that we shit on the, like, millions of printings of things all the time, but that's just kind of the execution of it. I think that it's actually a good thing that there are multiple printings, or like multiple different arts that you can get of cards, because then you can choose the one that you like. I think it's cool. But this just makes it harder. The way that they're doing this just makes it harder to get the one that you actually want.
Yeah, and, I mean, a Mana Crypt's a Mana Crypt, so I wouldn't care that much, but if you have, like, Mana Crypts to spare, I don't know. I'm kind of finicky to the point where I'm fine with somebody that if they're really going to bitch about pulling a Mana Crypt and it's not the one they want, that they can figure out how to fucking get the one they want. And I'm sure, like, a lot of these are going to be, like, promos for LGSs to give away for whatever they're running in-house kind of thing, if it's, like, a special guest stuff.
Yeah. The neon one, it has, like, the red border and the yellow background.
Yeah.
I think that one is a promo. I think. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody really wants it, they'll figure out how to get it, and they'll have to pony up for it, and they're going to complain, and then they're going to go spend $300 on another Magic thing later, so...
Yeah.
That's
I don't know. I think the art's cool.
It is cool. It's super cool. I just noticed the little guy on the cliff that's, like, praying to the Mana Crypt. I never noticed that until just now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of my favorite printings of Mana Crypt. I think the one that you have, that, like, extra shiny, flashy one, is dope as hell, too. Was that Double Masters?
Mana Vault.
Mana Vault. Fuck, whatever.
The one that has, like, the big circle door?
The one with, like, the pointy triangles.
Pointy triangles.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. No, it's cool that hey, guess what? I really like seeing reprints of stuff that's used in CEDH because, damn, even casual people I would love a fucking Mana Crypt just to have casually.
Yeah, of course. Like, we always say this, but cards are meant to be played, and abolish the reserve list. And, like, the more printings of Mana Crypt, the better. But
yeah.
I don't think that having seven versions of Mana Crypt will mean that there will be 7 times as many printings of it.
Oh, definitely not. No. Yeah, it's a little achy. It's like whatever. At least it's a fucking card I can use. It's not like a billion different reprints of Numbnuts that they did in Kamigawa where he kind of sucked hard. But...
Oh, Hidetsugu? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like the neon one that costs $2,000 just because it's the fucking neon one and he actually just sucks.
Yeah, he sucks. He fucking sucks, dude. God. Ugh. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, give me the green Mana Crypt that I don't care about because, I probably wouldn't even use it in a goddamn green deck anyway because why the fuck? Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Enough Mana Crypt talk. Let's go to Coercive Portal.
Yes.
4-drop. Artifact. Has an ability, Will of the Council. At the beginning of your upkeep, starting with you, each player votes for Carnage or Homage. If Carnage gets more votes, sacrifice holy shit. Coercive Portal and destroy all non-land permanents. If Homage gets more votes or the vote is tied, draw a card.
Oh god.
How bad do you want everything to die? Is it worth me drawing a card?
Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, so the first, well, there's only one printing of this currently in Conspiracy, and so of course it is kind of expensive. It's $14. Probably does not deserve to be at $14. So I'm glad they're reprinting it in that way, but also just because I fucking love the idea of this card.
It's hilarious. It's a turn 5 board wipe at upkeep. If everyone's like, fuck you, dude. I would personally vote. If somebody played this on me, I'm voting Carnage every single time. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. You are not drawing a card.
Yeah, destroy everything, see if I care.
Yeah, pay 4 mana to lose your board state. Eat it, dude. I don't care at all, man. I don't care at all, bro. It's like a disc you can't control, too, which is really funny. Because let's say if you play it because you got nothing else to do, and it just stays on the board, and your board state starts to get better, and then you're just kind of like, oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
You have, like, no sack outlet for it. You can't blow it up yourself, and then everyone's like, guess what, motherfucker? We're blowing it.
Yeah. I do like it.
Oh yeah, that'll have to go into party games. That's a good card.
Oh yeah, for sure. So lastly, we have a new reprint of Cavern of Souls, which is actually in the Lost Caverns of Ixalan base set, which is pretty cool. So you can just pull this in any pack. Once again, there are not 7 reprints this time.
Now there's 8.
Nope. Yeah, there are 8. Yeah, because there's the normal printing with the regular border, which, by the way, this art is so fucking good. It's Elena
so
Danner,
cool.
So like it's kind of to be expected. I love Elena Danner. But yeah, that art's so good.
Yeah. Adam needs the yellow one for his monkey deck because it kind of looks like bananas.
Oh man, that is a very good point. So there are, besides the like regular bordered one by Elena Danner, very good art, there are fucking 7 other printings. Again, there's one in each color, and then there is like a neon one, and then there's like a special one. So same with Mana Crypt. I'm hoping this means that there are going to be 8 times as many reprints of Cavern of Souls, because that card is fucking ridiculously expensive. But more likely, it's going to just be harder to get the one that you actually want.
Yeah, I almost wish this card would get reprinted as a rare. That might be a hot take. It's a good card, but is it really that good? How often are people really running tribal now that this card is like unstoppable? You know what I mean? Worst case scenario, you dump out a pretty good elf that's going to pump your other elves and it doesn't get countered, but you can still fucking smoke it when it's on the battlefield. Like, who cares?
Yeah. It is good. And originally, it was printed as a rare in Everson Restored. So, like, I don't think there's really any reason why they couldn't do that again. But I think that our play group is kind of unusual in the fact that we don't play a lot of the things that lots of other people are still doing. I think that there are probably still a ton of people playing tribal. We just don't have as much of that in our play group.
That's fair. I think a lot of it too is that a bunch of our play group started with commander. So you kind of have this mindset where you just build around a commander.
Yeah.
And a mechanic rather than like when I used to play 60, I used to run tribal everything all the time.
Oh yeah,
this is the easiest way to build
I
a
played
deck.
zombies like
Yeah.
all the time. So
Zombies. I used to run a fucking mono green Kamigawa spirit tribal because all the Kamigawa spirits had that bullshit spirit tutor ability or whatever where you you could like go look for a spirit. Oh god, I'm gonna have to look it up when we're talking now because that's gonna drive me crazy. But I mean, I used to make tribal everything. I had spiders, I had fucking the illusions that sucked, I had mono green spirits, which is weird, like yeah, weird. So we are weird like that. I think it's like people feel like tribal's kind of boring, but I don't know. Especially Wizards recognizes that Commander is huge, and it's like what a lot of people are playing. And at that point, is Cavern is one card out of 100 that just makes it so like your creature can't be countered. Is that fucking good? I don't know. Is it mythic?
Yeah. That is a good point, I think. And like, also with Wizards recognizes that the majority of players, I think, at this point are playing Commander. And they might play other formats too, but I think the majority of players at least play Commander. They are making cards with that in mind, or designing cards with that in mind, or like, choosing reprints or whatever. Which I guess with choosing reprints, that's fine. But hey, here's another hot take. I don't know if this is a hot take, actually. This might be a fucking ice cold take. Stop printing cards specifically for Commander. Stop doing that. Stop it. Like, the reason Commander it was fun is because we were using all these cards in ways that they were never meant to be played, or all these cards like with other cards that they were not meant to be played with. And that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, that's something that we keep coming back to. And it doesn't stop us from fucking buying these packs and still playing Commander and all that. But it is annoying. It's like, you're kind of taking the fun out of deck building for me.
Yeah. Because it's like, and you've said this before, there's now a Commander that specifically does things with dinosaurs and goes and gets the best dinosaur out of your deck, and then you can basically play it for not for free, but because like you can tap your creatures for the mana for it. So obviously you're gonna play that and not be creative in your deck building.
Right, yeah. Unless something comes up immediately where you don't get to play that card that you just tutored for, you have to play something else. Like, it's very one track. It's like, it's literally step by step. Get card, play card, bing bong. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Exactly like that.
Yeah. It's almost like all of the legendary creatures at this point, instead of doing something that is particularly flavorful, it's like, this is the vampire Commander because it's going to help you get vampires. And obviously you're not going to play a different Commander for vampires because that's the best one.
Yeah, right. Okay. So the ability I was talking about when I ran my mono green spirits was Soul Shift, and I thought it was really fucking cool. That was like in the original Kamigawa, it'd be Soul Shift X. So, just to give you an example, Soul Shift 6 is an ability on this creature. I'll just read the whole creature. It's Vine Kami, 6 colorless and a green for a 4/4, which seems fucking stupid. But Vine Kami can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. It has Soul Shift 6. When this is put into a graveyard from play, you may return target spirit card with converted mana cost 6 or less from your graveyard to your hand. So all these cards had like inflated mana cost for what they did, because when they died, you would be able to like pull them out of the graveyard when another one died. So it's just like they just kept feeding into each other. And I just thought that was so cool, and these cards were so cheap, and I just happened to pull them all for like no fucking money at all, out of bulk bins somewhere. So yeah, I mean, I loved it. I love shit like that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I maybe, like you said, we're just weird and nobody in our playgroup plays fucking Tribal. And we used to preach a lot about trash Tribal on this podcast, and it hasn't been brought up in a while. Future. And maybe I need to bring in more Tribal into my life.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I have a Fungus Tribal deck. I have a Sand Warrior Tribal deck, which one of our people in our playgroup was just like a couple weeks ago. He was all excited, and he was like, I made a Dune-themed deck, and I was like, okay, yeah, tell me about it. And he was like, it makes Sand Warriors. And I said, oh, yeah, I have that deck.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like this?
Oh, you mean Hazazen? Yeah, I have that.
Yeah. He's like, oh.
Kind of took the wind out of his sails. But it's okay, because it's funny when it happens to him.
It is. I don't know why.
It's really funny. Anyway, that's all of the newly announced cards / reprints. So, do you want to move on to the second main?
Yeah, I think we should move on to the second main. So
let's fucking do it.
Hey, Jack.
Uh-huh.
What you brewing?
I'm brewing, hold on, I have it here somewhere. I'm brewing a Will Scion of Peace deck. So, I talked about Rowan, Scion of War, and how I thought that would be a very viable CEDH card, or commander. And I wanted to go completely the opposite direction. Well, I guess it's not completely the opposite direction, but I think not a lot of people see the potential in Will. So, just to read him out, he's a blue, a white, and 1 for 2/4 human wizard vigilance. And he has tap spells you cast this turn that are white and or blue, cost X less to cast, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn, activate only as a sorcery. So, contrast to Rowan, which is black and red spells cost X less, where X is the amount of life you've lost that turn. That's a lot easier to do. So I wanted to make the more difficult deck, really. So, there's, of course, a bunch of X spells, Finale of Glory, which is 2 white and X to create X/2/2 soldiers, and then if X is 10 or more, you also create X/4/4 angels with flying and vigilance. So this is a little bit easier to keep the game going with Will because you're gaining life instead of losing it. So, like, if something gets countered or, you get hit a bunch before you get the chance to play an X cost spell, it's a lot easier to still continue the game in a competitive manner. Right. So, like, Finale of Glory is going to be really helpful because you're going to be gaining, you should be gaining a bunch of life per turn from things like, I have, like, Vince's Journal, where you gain 1 life for each card in your hand at the beginning of your upkeep. And, like, you're probably going to be tapping Will on your turn because a lot of these X cost cards are sorceries. Alhamar's Archive, which doubles your life gain and your card draw, and then there are a bunch of stuff that say, like, whenever you gain life, draw a card, like Drogskull Reaver, which is a blue, white, and 5, which actually works out because Will can discount that generic mana. It's a 3/5 flying double strike lifelink, and then whenever you gain life, draw a card. So, like, you would also want to have a bunch of little things that gain life, because a lot of things will say whenever you gain life and not for each life that you gain. So I think that there's a lot that you can actually do with this deck, and the focus has kind of been on Rowan because it's a lot easier to gain life. It's a lot easier to lose life quickly and then
with
cast
benefits.
a bomb. Right.
Yeah.
And then cast a bomb and potentially win the game than it is to gain life that quickly. But then, like I said, if it gets countered or it doesn't kill everybody or something, you're kind of shit out of luck because you can't pay more life.
Yeah, and it's fun to have those two go against each other because in the Will deck, there's a lot of potential to run interference against Rowan, so it's very flavorful. It's kind of fun to think about, like squaring off like that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so this probably won't be the next deck I build, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to build this deck. Like, a lot of times we will just kind of talk about concepts, or like, it might be fun to play this or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up building this. My next deck is probably going to be Swole Wizards, but then after that, it'll probably be this, which I've called Boy Scouts.
Wait, you've called the Will deck Boy Scouts?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Yeah, listener, fucking Freddie, we aren't made out of money, so all these decks we talk about, I could probably make most of the decks I talk about if I ripped apart my other decks. But
yeah, and I
don't make every one of these fucking things. Jesus.
Yeah, there is that one guy who's like trying to make a commander deck with every fucking commander, which is insane. I like, he's gonna have a bunch of cheap cards in each deck and everything, but still, what the fuck?
Yeah, whatever. I'll go out and make a Lord Tressorhorn deck right now, and it's gonna suck fucking bad things because it's shit. I can make a bunch of pee poo poo decks as well.
Yeah, right. Like, they're all gonna suck, and then it's like you're not gonna fucking pull those out to play them, right? So I don't know. That's a whole thing. Hey, listener, Brian Kibler, tell us if you want to hear about that in another episode. Tell us in a comment, please. Fuck.
Comment.
I will say they have reduced the number of legendaries that they printed in Wilds of Eldraine, so I'm hoping that trend continues. And because like we used to get fucking 4 or 6 legendaries in a set. Like, it was not the 25 legendaries that we have been getting in recent years. So I'm hoping that we go down to a more reasonable number again, under 10.
Yeah, I think it's better that way too, because I understand trying to pander to commander players, but there are so many legendaries already. Like, I need 99 creatures. I don't need fucking legendaries, dude.
Right.
Like, just give me a solid 99 card, a solid include. So yeah,
very true. Anyway, hey Xavier.
Yeah.
What you brewing?
Were you starting and stopping, or was it cutting out?
I was not starting and stopping.
That's funnier. So I'm brewing. Okay, this is gonna seem obvious and not exciting to anyone. But somehow I just fucking missed out on this card when it came out, and then our buddy Landon writes for TCG Player, right?
TCG Player, yeah.
And he was posting an article about Naya colors, Cabaret stuff, and he brought up this card, and I was like, oh fuck, hey, this is pretty good. And Jack's like, yeah, that's a CDH card, and I was like, oh. I was like, hey, have you heard of this card? He's like, of course, you idiot. Everyone's heard of this card. It is Ginny Faye Jetmir's Second, which is a 3/3 legendary creature elf druid with just the craziest mana cost. It's fucking crazy. You can pay a red or a green. You have to pay a green, and then you can also pay a green or a white. So 3 total. You can pay all greens if you want, which is like the most elf druid thing ever. I keep saying that it's almost like you can see that she was like an elf druid that converted to some like weird mob shit where it's like,
oh yeah,
like convoluted colors. But it's just like a bizarre mana cost. No colorless in it. There's really not a way to reduce it. You're like fucking casting it turn 3 unless you have something that can let you. I mean, whatever. There's plenty of stuff that lets you tap for colored mana before turn 3. But anyway, my point is weird mana cost. It says if you would create 1 or more tokens, you may instead create that many 2/2 green cat creature tokens with haste, or that many 3/1 green dog creature tokens with vigilance. So, hey, that's pretty fucking good.
I think the dogs should be white.
Yeah, I do. You know, now that you mention it, it is annoying that they're green.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Why would they be green? They would. Well, if the dogs were going to be green, the cats should be white. I think it's a balance.
I don't think cats can be white. I don't.
There's already white cat creature tokens, I think, that have existed for forever.
That's true. Yeah, like on the cat boy that I want to fuck that makes lifelinkers. But yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, it's fine. He's shredded. It's like the Zootopia like backup dancers, the tigers.
Oh my god. Oh boy. Okay, we can't get into that right now.
I'm sweating. Oh, I got the vapors. Yeah, this card's pretty fucking good. So guess what we're gonna do? We're just gonna find anything that makes any token, and instead we're gonna make cats or dogs, or like we just make the token that we wanted to anyway because it's good. Yeah. You're like, hey, let's put bootlegger stash in here. I'm going to tap fucking 6 lands and make like 6 goddamn cats or dogs. Oh, but I got Mondrak out, so I tapped 6 lands, and in fact, I made fucking 12 3/1 dogs. You know, it's just, you just do dumb shit.
Or, dude,
Farmer Cotton? Farmer Cotton is so stupid in this deck, dude.
Yeah.
For 6 mana, you can make 8 3/1 dogs with vigilance.
I mean, dude, like you cast White Sun's Twilight, and instead of mites, you make cats or dogs. Like,
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
And it's in white. So I built this out on Moxfield, and it's probably not gonna be what I have in Moxfield. This deck will not end up being. I just put it together to put it together, but. I'm not really looking to make this like super CEDHE. I'm probably just gonna use a bunch of shit that I already have and fucking throw it together. But I mean, I was playing it out and I happened to cast White Sun's Twilight. I paid X was more than 5, so I made a bunch of mites, and then I was gonna destroy every other creature on the battlefield except for the mites, which were actually 3/1 dogs. But then I had Flawless Maneuver in my hand, so I cast that for free. So I just wiped the rest of the battlefield except for my board, which was ridiculous.
Actually, now that I think about it, White Sun's Twilight might still destroy those tokens because they're not mites.
If you look at the phrasing, it's like 2 separate phrasings. So it says...
Destroy all other creatures.
White Sun's Twilight is X and 2 white pips. You gain X life, create X 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. So it's all other creatures besides the tokens that you made. I don't think it's contingent on it being a might. And if you look at the rulings on Ginny Fey, it says anything regarding the token that you make, even if you make it a cat or dog, it retains those abilities. So if it says, there's cards where it's like, okay, make a 3/1 elemental, exile that token at the beginning of this end step, you would exile that 3/1 dog that you made instead. Like, it doesn't lose that ability.
Yeah, so it's a replacement effect. So
correct.
Anything that affected the original token that you would create should affect that token, which is what I was thinking earlier. I just had to kind of think through it.
Yeah, and this Landon actually brought up Ginny Fey because he was talking about Song of Ten Toes from Wilds of Eldraine. So Song of Totentans is colorless and X and a red for a sorcery where you create X 1/1 black rat creature tokens. With this creature can't block, creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. So, guess what? Really good in Ginny Fey. You pay 4 mana and a red to make 4 3/1 dogs with vigilance that have haste until end of turn. That seems pretty good to me.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and it's in green and white, which cares about pumping up creature tokens, and that weird pollen hair bullshit thing that just got printed in Wilds of Eldraine gives creature tokens +1/+1, and it costs like nothing to play. It's just, it's all very good, man. It's just good. Oh, weird, and it's in Ginny Fey's in red, so like, oh, there's shit that just dumps out goblin tokens for just existing. Those can be dogs now.
Oh my god.
Very good.
No, that'd be kind of convoluted. But if you had like, who's the Goblin Man? What's his name? Krenko. You would have to have something to turn everything into goblins.
No, I mean I test runned it with. I had like maybe 2 cards that cared about goblins, that were goblins, and I had that Krenko that taps. I mean, Krenko himself is ridiculous. If you leave him unattended... Yeah. So, I tap... Okay. Krenko Mob Boss, I don't even need to look it up to tell you what it does. Because this is like... I talk about how I don't like to play decks that are tedious with lots of triggers, but I've always been at my heart, like, a Swarm King. Like, I just want to make a bunch of tokens and swing and not care if they live or die. Like, that's just how I want to live. I am like, I have a goblin mentality when I'm trying to play competitively. So Krenko Mob Boss is 2 colorless, 2 red pips for a 3/3. You can tap him. He creates X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens, where X is the number of goblins you control. So let's say you happen to cast him earlier. Let's say we get him out like turn 3. Turn 4, I tap him. He makes 1 goblin because he is a goblin, so he can make 1 goblin. So turn 5, he makes 2 goblins. And then the next turn, I could just start tapping him and making 4 dogs. Like, I don't need any more goblins than that amount of goblins. I have 1 creature that will tap and make fucking 4 3/1 dogs or 4 2/2 cats. That seems pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Like, but, I mean, if you just consider, if you have Maskwood Nexus, then they're all goblins.
I mean, that seems pretty good. I will just make a Ginny Fey deck that is actually just a goblin deck. I don't care. They did my boy Krenko really fucking dirty with his Tin Street reprint. That it's disgusting and hard to look at.
What the fuck is up? That's okay. Also, that's March of the Machine, by the way. So that's like fucking 4-6 months ago. But yes, it's horrible.
It's weird and 3D and gross and not what it's like. The goblins are supposed to be ugly, but this is like not fun to look at all. And there's some.
But it's not right.
Yeah, there are some really, really gross looking goblins in MTG, and I would rather look at Goblin Swine Rider, and Jack will put that shit up in the YouTube thing. I'd rather look at Goblin Swine Rider all day than look at this fucking new, Cranko, because he's just...
I agree.
Yeah, it has more character. Goblins are supposed to be gross and fun way.
I mean, it actually has a lot of character. Yeah, in Goblin Swine Rider. And then, like, this Cranko is just, like, kind of boring. You know what? Vico Menezes. What the fuck, Menezes? Fuck you.
Oh, my God. Oh,
you
my God. I just sent you a picture of a close-up on the Goblin Swine Rider art. It looks like there's a lizard just walking under the swine. Is that our Rootwalla friend?
Oh my God!
He's not blazing yet, though.
It's
before he went to college, and then he became the blazing Rootwalla. You know what I mean?
He went to a liberal arts college.
Now he blazes that shit every day, dog. Discard me like society has. I don't care.
Oh, God. Don't your parents pay your tuition? Shut up.
Mom.
Go pick me up. I'm scared.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's it.
You have anything else that you want to say about Jenny Faye?
No, she's good. Hey, guess what? I'm just finding out now that she's good.
Where has she been all my life? So before we move on, I just want to point out that I'm sure you heard, but I opened another beer. So, hey, do you want to go back into the Untapped stuff again? Yeah. I'm drinking Oktoberfest from Hoptown Brewing Company this time. I love fest beers and Märzens. They're definitely among my favorite styles. They're just... no notes. They're all perfect. Don't care. Hoptown is in Mooresville, North Carolina, about 30 minutes north of Charlotte. Just want to give them a shout out. My first review is from Glenn, and he said, well, he gave it 4.25 stars and said, impressed by this beer that loads up caramel, hops, and toasty wonders. I love Oktoberfest beers, and this is a wonderful example. And we need more positivity like that in the world. I just wanted to point out that I love the Oktoberfest beers. Glenn loves the Oktoberfest beers. We're kindred spirits.
Yeah. Well, real quick, I will say, it's hard. I think what people don't realize is that in craft beer, when, like, we're both kind of like a part of this industry, you and I, so it's easier for us to see. But I mean, if you leave a review on Untapped for a craft brewery, the person that made that beer is definitely gonna see that if they ever look at Untapped. It's not like leaving a review for a High Life. Those motherfuckers are like, dude, what? I'm working third shift right now, making the same beer for the rest of my life. Like, I don't fucking care. These guys, like, a lot of the time they have to, like, post the descriptions and the picture, and they can see what you guys write. And hey, guess what? Yeah, it's not fun to catch shit. And that's like, they know what they stand behind, what they make, and they don't care. But they do, they do. It's like, hey, we're all fucking people here. Come on. Let's be a person.
Yeah. I mean, like, you don't see the human side of it when you're just making a review on Untapped. But, like, yeah, I mean, people made this. It's a microbrewery. The real humans are looking at whatever you write. So, yeah, and just try to be constructive.
Right, that's the thing. It's the non-constructiveness, because whatever. If you say something constructive, they'll be like, okay, well, I politely disagree, but I see where you're coming from. If you're just like, I don't like this, it's like, well, fuck you, I don't like you, dude.
Yeah, right. which I'm going to talk about that in a second. But wow, that was weak. That was the weakest burp I've ever had. Next one from Barry L. Gave it 4 stars and said, "Prost, bitches," which I appreciate.
You won.
It's very good. He has a very nice picture of the can next to his mug that he's filled up, and this beer, by the way, is beautiful. Let me send you a picture of it. It's so pretty. Oops.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
and it is like definitely like Martin Oktoberfest style. Like it's got that darker color to it. Oh wow, she's so pretty.
Yeah. It's very pretty. I have never had this beer before. I love it now.
Yeah,
It's
she looks really good in a mug too.
I actually have 2 more for this because I love all the positivity on this. There are so many positive reviews on this beer, and I really like it. I'm gonna read this full name out because it's insane. Megan Edwards Malin. This person put all 3 of their names on their Untapped profile. None of them, and none of them are capitalized. Gave 4 stars, said a solid malty Martin. How I love fall beer. And I agree. God, I love fall beer. I said Martin, but I love Martins. It's just, it's great.
Very good.
Not much to say about that one. It's just a good review. So this last one is from Vishal Patel. He gave it 1 star, didn't write anything. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I went to his profile and everything else is like 4 or 5 stars and they're all fucking IPAs.
Oh god.
God, fuck you, Vishal. You live in Charlotte. If I ever see you, I'm gonna fucking slap you.
And he's like, "Wow!" And you're like, "Listen to the podcast."
What? And I'm like already gone.
Holy shit, that's really good.
Ugh, God, I hate that shit. Anyway, go ahead. What you got?
What? Oh, I'm.
Oh, I thought you had another.
I'm
one.
drinking fucking more Nosferatu. Guys, I made this place buy 2 cases of this, so like I bought like a lot of this because I felt a little guilty. And I have this bad habit of like I keep buying it and then I'm like a beer familiar, so I just give it out to everyone to try. And then I was like, oh, but I wanted some, so I have to like buy more. So I have a lot of Nosferatu.
And I mean, John, the distributor guy or the beer ordering guy at the place that he's talking about will pretty much order anything if you ask him to. So like, he's cool. So I feel that.
Yeah, if anyone that's listening to this is in Charlotte, and everyone that is listening to it is in Charlotte, because they're just people we know. Yeah, go to Rhino Market more. And if you want something and they can get it, hey, they'll get it. Because guess what? They can just like fucking order a 4-pack and then single that shit out and sell it for like $5 a pop and make a bunch of money. And somebody will buy it eventually. It doesn't really matter. So it's
they do that all the time. Another rant. There was one time that I went and there were 4 bottles of Event Horizon, which is a barrel-aged stout from a brewery close.
Old Hickory,
what?
right?
Old Hickory, yeah. So it's close to Charlotte, in Hickory, North Carolina, and I love Old Hickory, and I really love Event Horizon, but they had split out. Someone had split out this 4-pack into just the bottles, and only one of them had a price tag on it. And the price tag was the normal price of the 4-pack. So I was like, hey, so that's normally the price of the 4-pack. Can I just like buy all 4 of them for the price of the 4-pack? None of the other ones have prices on them. Kind of seems like it got split out and it wasn't supposed to be. And they were like, let me talk to the distributor about it, or the alcohol buyer about it. This is when there was a different alcohol guy. And they came back and they were like, yeah, no, you would have to buy that by itself. Like, you would have to buy individual bottles. The price on the bottle was $22.
Gross.
I am not paying $22 for a 16-ounce beer. What the fuck?
What do I look like?
Like, that's already a lot just for the 4-pack, but, I mean, it's a barrel-aged Imperial Stout, so it's kind of excusable. And I was just like, God, it's clearly not right. And those beers sat in there for, like, a year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know how it be. Dumb.
Anyway.
You ready for the sideboard?
Yeah. Let's move on to the sideboard. Hey, the sideboard is where we talk about whatever the fuck we want because it's our podcast. What you got?
Me? Well, it is spooky season.
Fuck yeah.
And spooky season is a time to make your significant other watch spooky movies, especially when it's your birthday this month, so they can't really say no. So that sounded so creepy, but it doesn't make it less true.
It's my birthday.
So we started watching Werewolves Within not that long ago. Which I guess is kind of a spooky movie. It's like a horror comedy kind of thing. And hey, that movie's pretty good. That girl from the AT&T commercials is in it. You know the one I'm talking about. And hey, she can act. And yeah, it's worth checking out. I think it's on something for free. Fuck, I don't remember. I think it's on Amazon Prime for free or Tubi, and it's definitely worth a watch. So give her a shot. I don't think I've talked about movies in a long time, so this is it's nice to get back to my wheelhouse. So that's all I got.
Back to your roots.
Straight and
what's it called?
Straight up. Werewolves Within. It is like if somebody made the werewolf, I don't know what you want to call it, board game, in place game, human game that we all play because we've all
game.
Been to what?
Party game?
Party game! That's it. Yes. It's like if somebody made Werewolf the Party Game a movie, you would have Werewolves Within. Which is pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it's fun, man. It's just a fun time. Watch it. That's all I got.
Cool. I'll have to check it out.
Neat.
Yes. I usually talk about video games on this, but I'm going to also talk about spooky season. Every October or so, anytime around Halloween, we always watch Over the Garden Wall, which I think is something that a lot of people do.
Classic.
Yeah, so we just watched that, and it's fantastic. Great as always. But I've been really wanting to watch... Have you seen No One Can Save You?
What is that one about?
It is like aliens, and not like aliens.
Oh, yeah.
It is aliens.
It's the Hulu one that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen clips of it, and hey, it looks fucking a little spooky.
Yeah, like it looks really cool, and it's a kind of twist on two different genres, you know, horror movies and alien movies, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, we always say that we will. Holy shit! I'm sorry. I was watching the trailer for Werewolves Within, and I thought it was Keenan for a second. It's not.
Yeah.
But we're always like, oh man, we need to watch some spooky movies, and we'll watch a couple and then stop. But man, I do want to watch more spooky movies.
Yeah, and it's no
so
one
much
will
to
save
do.
you is what it is.
No one will save you. That's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Not all of them are good, but horror has a lot to
But even if
give.
they're not good, like they're still fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, I love terrible movies.
Me too.
But not everyone does. And not everyone that I would be watching movies with does. But occasionally we'll watch a terrible horror movie.
Yeah, the mood just has to catch them right, and then it's like, yeah, I could do this, and you're like, hell yeah! That's what I just have, like, you remember old Netflix, where it was just, like, DVDs getting sent to your house, and you have to fight for, like, queue priority. It was almost like the stack, where you just had to, like, fucking, like, hope and pray that your shit would get there first. I have, like, an ongoing queue of movies I'm just waiting to get, but we have to turn in the old movies first. And it's just every time, like, as soon as Heather's like, yeah, I could watch a dumb movie, I just pull out the next one on the list instantly. Yes. The key is speed. If you do it quickly, they just, like, start to watch it, and there's no stopping it. So,
have you seen The Gate?
Is that the one
1987
with fucking Johnny Depp?
No. It's that's the Ninth Gate.
Yes. No, but Stephen Dorff, who we were somehow just talking about very recently, is in that movie. We're talking about Stephen Dorff because he's in fucking he's Deacon Frost in Blade. And then we were talking about him in the e-cigarette commercials when, like, those blue cigarettes first came out. And he's like, I'm Stephen Dorff. And it's like, who the fuck are you, dude? I don't know who you are. Stephen Dorff?
Yeah.
Anyway, no.
Who the fuck? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you're Deacon Frost? Why didn't you just say that?
Someone just, not reminded, but, like, I just mentioned The Gate. And I watched a little bit of the trailer, and it looks fucking great. Like, it's 1987, so it's an 80s horror movie, but it looks awesome.
Like, good, actually, or bad, so it's good?
A little bit of both. I think that kind of encapsulates all 80s horror movies.
Yeah. Where it's like, I do miss that, man. I really miss that. Oh, shit. I don't know if I've ever talked about Malignant on this movie. Or on this podcast, but Malignant is like watching an 80s movie and like an 80s horror movie. And I'm not going to ruin anything about it because it takes a fucking crazy turn. But I first heard about it on this other podcast. It's called the Horror Virgin Podcast. You should check them out. It's great. They do like full scene-by-scene movie reviews, which I love. I hate listening to movie review podcasts where they just kind of talk about the movie in general the whole time, and you're like, great, like, I didn't see the movie, so this doesn't mean anything to me, and I'm not gonna watch all these fucking horror movies. You're limiting what I'm gonna listen to because I'm just gonna check in for the ones I know and not every episode. But if I get like a scene by scene synopsis, I'll watch every episode because I'm not gonna watch all these fucking movies, you know what I mean? Anyway, listen to their episode coverage on it, and I was like, this seems crazy, and then I watched it, and I was like, oh my god, this is insane. We'll talk about it when we're done because I don't want to spoil this.
2021
yes.
Malignant?
Directed by James Wan, who made, like, Insidious and The Conjuring, like the whole Conjuring multiverse. So, like, all the Nun movies, all the Annabelle movies. So, there's some... It's 2/3 of it is like a normal horror movie, and the last third is fucking just crazy. Very good. Horrors.
Okay.
80s.
I'll have to
80s
put that
horror.
on the list.
Total 80s horror movie.
Fuck yeah. Oh,
yeah,
hell
people
yeah,
were just
dude.
doing so much cocaine back then. They're like anything flew. They're like, do whatever.
Yeah, like, oh my god, okay. no one thinks of him as a horror director, but wow, I'm blanking on the name. It's the Lord of the Rings man.
Peter Jackson, he did Dead Alive or Brain Dead.
Both maybe, I don't know.
No, I meant it is the same movie. It's just depending where you are, it's called one thing or the other.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that motherfucker gets gory. Like, he does some campy shit.
Yeah. Anyway, for more of that, you'll have to tune into our movie podcast.
I would start a movie podcast tomorrow.
What?
I already have
this. You made this joke before. I don't remember what you called it though. Anyway,
Frights and Flights.
Frights and Flights. Yes. You'll have to tune into our movie podcast, Frights and Flights. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. I do want to watch more horror movies, but I usually end up just playing video games. But
yeah,
let's move on to the end step. So we are Magic on Tap if you want to find us anywhere else. Instagram, YouTube, where statistically you're most likely to be listening to this. Untapped, we make cards based on basically the names of the beers that we checked in the episode. And Twitter, that we're not active on really, but I'm trying to be a little bit better about. Technically we have a TikTok, but we've never posted to it, so maybe we'll try to do that at some point.
Who's to say?
Yeah,
only time will tell. Thanks for listening. And she raised him from an orphan pup and gave him a life of love. With his last act, he thanked her.